Hi, Normees. Grand Rising. Wake your asses up, or whatever it is that y'all doing. It's already 8:47 in the morning. It's May 4th. I got some shit I need to get off my chest. I need y'all to be on the other end of this listening thing, even though I feel like don't nobody listen to me. Anyways, and I feel like I'm wasting my time with all of this, and I'm already beating myself up, and I'm already not in a good place mentally right now. And sorry, I was told to get the garbage can had gotten so I keep forgetting that the bar to this wheelchair is longer than the other one, so I need to put it sideways. I don't know what all of that was. Um, so I haven't really been recording because of the microphone issue, and I'm tired of the content being like, in and out, and whatever the case may be. It's already bad enough that I'm all over the place. So I don't need technology to be all over the place also. Okay, like I need technology to be my friend because I'm already all over the place. So like I can't have all these strikes against me. Feel me? Like it's bad enough all my watch hours are going down. Like I feel like I'm fighting a universe that just doesn't want me to win. That just doesn't want me to win. Like I was at 1,000 watch hours and now I'm at 700. How is that even possible? Like, how does it go down instead of going up? I'm working hard to try to get my message out there and get my account monetized and all these beautiful things, right? And it just discourages you so bad because you already know that your content ain't like other content. I'm not out here to make everybody laugh. I'm not out here like, this is my life. This is our story. This is what we're living with. This is what we have to cope with every single day. Like, we struggle, we struggle, we struggle. And it's not easy. It is not easy in no shape, way, or form. But on to the main reason why I was like, forget the microphone. Fuck what you heard. Let me just come on here for a second. I'm supposed to be recording the podcast live today, but I'm supposed to pick up the rental because I'm trying to see about buying a van so that we can finally get transportation. And I scheduled it to pick it up at 12, so yeah, I don't think the live is gonna happen. But I don't even know if I'm posting this right now either, so I don't even know why I'm telling y'all all of this. But like, I'm just really like trying to not fall apart right now, I guess is the word I'm trying to use. Because in a way, I had a PTSD trigger, and I'm trying not to fall apart. So I'm, minding my business. I've checked my Instagram. Sorry, I was telling my cousin about it. So when I decided to leave and cut my egg donor off and leave all the toxicity behind and finally live life for me and my kids and live within my truth and what I'm dealing with and my story, I cut, I went into hiding, only let 3 people know where I am, blocked everybody on Facebook, disappeared, right? So I can have a fresh start, get my head right, take the suicidal thoughts away, get my daughter to stop wanting to kill herself again, get my son to better space, and protect the baby. This has really just triggered so much right now. And I hate that it's affecting me. And it's just making me so mad. So she has a really good friend who I've never really had like a attachment with like that. I've always kept my distance with any of her peoples. So towards the end, this person, she gave her my phone number, called me a rotten vagina, rotten uterus. I produce retarded kids. That one hit home. And that one hit hard because you came for my kids. I let you around my daughter. You've taken her on a cruise with you. Like, I trusted you with my child. Just for you to then turn around and talk bad about her. And just a whole bunch of extra stuff that was like completely unnecessary, especially when you really don't know what was going on. Okay? And all of that has started because I refused to continue to pay for a cell phone bill that I was paying already for almost 10 years. When the agreement was, I was supposed to be getting the money monthly from her, and she was going to pay the bill. It was just going on my plan because it was cheaper. Not once was I getting, I only got a payment one time. Left it alone, kept paying the bill, didn't ask her for the money. I just kept paying the bill. I just kept paying the bill, kept paying the bill, not a problem. Towards the end, I can't pay the bill no more. I'm going on maternity leave. I'm really sick. I am really sick. I was really struggling physically, mentally. Like, I was really sick through that pregnancy. Like, I was going through a lot. Can't pay the cell phone bill anymore, so I have to make sure I have my phone. My phone is my priority. I cut everybody off my bill that was not important anymore. That included her and my ex-husband because neither one of them paid their bills. Okay? Neither one of them paid their bills. So why should I continue to pay a bill for two people that continue to treat me like shit? And then I'm being demanded like I am 5 years old to turn back a phone bill? To turn back the phone? I paid for the phone. I bought the phone. First of all, every phone you had from the moment that you were on my phone bill, I paid for and bought. Not once did you buy a phone after that. And they were not cheap phones. So I had all right to cut the phone off. You could have easily turned the phone back on. I had to do what I needed to do for me and mine. Here comes your little troll, though, because she knows everything. She knows the whole entire world, and she's a psychic, and she knows it all. She knows it all. She knows that you tried to attack me when I was pregnant, right? She knows everything. She knows it all. She knows every single thing. So the reason why I'm bringing this up today, I go, I have this Mother's Day brunch that, not brunch, but discussion that I was invited to participate in for parenting and mental illness and, you know, balancing life and things like that. And I promoted it on my page, and I know that she has started following my page, but I left it alone, because I'm in a different space. So, okay, she found my page. It didn't sit well with me, but I was leaving it alone. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm physically okay, I'm cool beans. You feel me? I left it alone. I promoted it, and here I get up this morning to find a nice comment under there that goes, "One of us is fake." So now we're gonna cyber stalk me and cyber bully me now. So it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. That I had a fucked up life going, one that you clearly don't know too well about, but you know it all. You know it all because you're God. Because you're God Almighty, and you can see it all. You done seen in my four walls. You done seen everything the woman done did. You're God. You saw that she did nothing. She was an angel. She never put me down. She never told me I was never gonna be shit. She never told me I was never gonna be nobody. She never told me I was nothing. She never told me I was good for shit. And to make matters worse, you know what's the funny, crazy part, yo? Every single one of my relationships, she tried to destroy with the same thing. Oh, Lynette don't do shit. Lynette ain't good for shit. All Lynette do sit on her ass. Meanwhile, Lynette was going to school full time, taking care of you through your cancer, through your knee surgery. But Lynette don't do shit. And I was working full time. But Lynette don't do shit. And I was raising 3 kids. But Lynette don't do shit. And then when my domestic violence came, and I almost, you know, I woke up to a knife. I came here to kill you. That got brushed under the rug. And I got put out to be this villain to the family. And I got put out to be this party girl that didn't give a fuck about her child. Nothing was told. My story had to stay under the rug for her image. So she can still look good. But you, Miss Lady, you know it all though. You know everything. You're God. You've been in the walls with us every single day from the time I was born until the time I left that house. So you know everything. You know it all. All of it. All of it. You know it all. She's a God sent angel. She ain't never do no harm. I'm the horrible person that's done it all. But she don't bother to tell people I got in my situation because I was helping her in her situation. But I don't tell people shit that ain't none of their fucking business. And I'm still not gonna tell the full entire story because it still really ain't nobody's business. I did what I did because that was my egg donor. And it was my job as her child to do what I had to do to help her and to put me in the situation that was my fault because I should have been paying more attention, but I didn't. And it is what it is. But that's my story. And it ain't nobody's business. But let her tell it and let you tell it and let anybody else tell it. I'm the villain. I got put in plenty of situations where I lost everything helping. But that's not told though. That's not told. That's kept quiet because it makes her look bad. But you're God though. You're God. I'm fake. I'm fake. You're the Almighty God though. You see everything. You know everything. You know what happened in these walls. Oh, shoot. Ugh. Sorry, y'all. I did not expect that to happen. Liver, napkin, ASAP. Booger emergency. Wait, but he ain't here. Oh, I know he's not here, but I have a real booger emergency. Um, I know that was Jackie, y'all. My bad. Awesome. I need another napkin. I did not expect that to be the biggest train of boogers that I've seen. Yeah, that was like yucky. And I got tears all down my chin. That was embarrassing. If I was an editing person, I would edit that out. Because that is very embarrassing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, please, you get it. But you're God. You see everything and you know everything. Talk to my child. Talk to my child and ask my child her story. Ask the other one his story. I can't be making that up too. I mean, I really surely can't be making that up too because there's stuff that I didn't even know that I'm still finding out. So then what? Is that fake too? Oh wait, I forgot you said they were retarded. You know, your son has his own issues, and not once did I judge you as a mom. Not once did I judge you as a mom, because the woman likes to blab everybody's personal information, because she likes to gossip. So yeah, she used to blab all of y'all stuff. Then I can politely sit here and blab all of your stuff too, and let the whole world know everything that's going on. I could just be that evil person that everybody already thinks that I am, but that's not who I am. Never was and never will be. I'm just a very private person and choose who I share with and who I don't share with and who I let in and who I don't let in. I just happen to not be none of those. I had to become very private when I started to realize the stories and the way she was painting me to the family in Puerto Rico, man. That was it for me. It was a wrap. That was it. That's where I drew the line at. That's when I stopped taking a lot of pictures and the things I used to do with the kids. But we still did them, even though she thought we did them. We didn't do them. We were still doing a lot of our stuff. Just wasn't posting the pics. Not on Facebook, where she can see them. But here she thought I was being this bad mom. No, I just had to change my strategy of how I shared to the world the things that I was doing with my kids. I mean, there's so much that I still don't share that can do me a world of good therapy. Hear me out. That can do me a world of good therapy if I did share. But this unnecessary now, your cyber stalking bullying thing, like, are we kidding now? Like, are we God for real? Like, there's two people that were in that house. That was me and that was her. sorry. A lot of mucus. That was me and that was her. You weren't there. I mean, don't feel bad. It took my grandparents a little while to figure out what was going on. Even my grandmother put her foot down. She even had to tell her to stop. But you're God. You know it all. My own grandmother had to come to my defense. I'll never forget that day either. I will never forget that day. Matter of fact, let's go down memory lane. Why don't we, since you know it all? I was living in Puerto Rico, you know, because the egg donor just decided she just couldn't handle me because I was just being too bad. And in reality, I wasn't. I was acting out a little, yeah, because she just wasn't being a mom. Hold on, let's see who this is. Hello? Hello? Speaking. Yes. Okay, so I have to put in. All right, so let me go in and do that now. All right, so I just do it in the app. Mm-hmm. Okay. I got you. All right. All right, I'm gonna do that now. Okay. All right. Okay, you too. All right, let me do that before I forget. Memory lane has to stop. Real world has to kick in. I already have a picture on my phone. This is add photos. Drop them in. Add photos. Add photos. Wait. Oh, that's it. All right, that's it. Okay. That's it. Okay. So she would call. We were. I was living in PR. Again, I wasn't really honestly a bad kid. I acted out correct. I was acting out like any other kid, but it was because again I felt like I wasn't loved, um, alone. I was never talked to. I was talked at. I was never seen. Um, and time was never really made for me. You know, um, there's a lot. And then I had my own like depression and my own other stuff going on because of the things that would be said to me, and you know, so I remember this particular night. She called. I don't know if I called her because at that point I was still asking to come home because I was all the way in Puerto Rico with no friends. Like my whole life was in Connecticut. Everything I knew was in Connecticut. Like my sister, like you know, back then I used to call her mommy, but whatever. Like everything I knew was in Connecticut. Like I was now in Puerto Rico with, of course, family, but it was different. I'm not visiting. I know I'm not going home. I now have to like officially figure out reading Spanish and understanding it, not just reading it, but comprehending it and having to learn, like, you know what I'm saying? And I already felt so isolated in life to begin with. And I already felt so out of place and alone. And I already had so many other emotions. And then now this, and it was like, and if I'm not mistaken, my grandfather had already passed away. So I was already dealing with that too. Like, he wasn't there and he was my world. He was like my entire world. And I'm sorry for crying through this whole entire video. He was my entire world. Like, for real, like, legit. So, yeah, I remember. So I can't remember if I called her, like, trying to ask, can I come home? Like, I'll get my shit together, which really wasn't bad shit because I was still going to school every day. But I wasn't going to my actual classes. Instead, I was sitting in the girl would call mommy. I would sit in her 12th grade classes. I was just doing dumb, ninth grade shit. I was just being a kid who just needed guidance, attention, and love. Everybody always took advantage of my naiveness and my need for love. Growing up as an adult, this is how. So, I don't remember if I called her or if she had called the house. But I was in the living room. The lights were off. I only had the hallway light on. I was already laying down in the room, and that's what leads me to believe that I may have called her. Because I would have just answered the phone in the room. Oh no, that's not true. I would not didn't have a phone in the room. You had to walk all the way to the living room to answer the phone. I can't remember now. We did or didn't have a phone at the time. Because I know at one point she didn't have a phone in the room. And then we ended up putting the rotary phone in the room just to have, because the cordless was in the front. But nope, she called. Because now I remember our last conversation. She called and we were talking, and she was like yelling at me about something that had happened. Mind you, I had already been on the island for, I think at this point I was already there for 6 months. So I had already been on the island for 6 months. So she's yelling at me and arguing. She's yelling at me and arguing about something which I can't remember particularly, but I was like, how are you blaming me for this when I'm oceans and oceans away? How is that my fault? I just physically couldn't have possibly have done it. I am nowhere in the United States. I am oceans and like the whole time I'm saying this to her, I'm trying to get her to understand, logically speaking, like mentally, I'm not understanding why you're calling me, yelling at me, and putting me down, and coming for me when we're oceans and oceans away from each other, and there's just no way that I could have been responsible for that, right? So I break down crying because always I just have to be this emotional person. And I break down crying, and I know my grandmother comes, and she's really angry, and I'm thinking she's angry at me, so I start getting scared. You know what I'm saying? I start getting really scared because even though when I was a little one, she was not a little one you wanted to tangle with. You know what I'm saying? She had she had a bite on her. Okay, she had a bite. She had a bite. And I was not messing with her. And Abuelo had already passed, and we were already trying to cope with, the difference in the daily routines and you know what I'm saying? It was a lot, and she was trying to process with a lot, and I was her crutch. So I'm this 15-year-old. I think I had just turned 15, or I was gonna turn 15. Girl, having to hold in my own emotions for my abuelo passing away because I have to be my abuela's crutch. And I have to hold it in for her, and I have to, make sure she's okay because I can't lose her too. I cannot lose her too. Like, I have to make sure that I keep all of my shit together as best as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what the fuck that looks like. You're asking a kid who felt like she never fit into this world, who was brought into the wrong, who was given to the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was just never appreciated or loved. Um, yeah, it was a hard couple of years. It was a hard time. It was a really hard time. It was a dark, dark time. Um, yeah, it was a struggle. I mean, I faked it. I faked it. I faked it. I did a hell of a job faking it. And honestly, I think that's where I learned how to fake it very fucking well. Because I had to for her. I had no choice. I had to. I had to be strong for her. You know, I had to get my shit together for her. I couldn't fall apart because then I knew she would fall apart. I couldn't be the cause of her pain. I couldn't fathom, you know, I just couldn't do that. So I had to like fake it as best as I could. And I know I had good days and bad days because I know I had days where I just didn't want to be bothered with nobody. And I would lock myself in the room and just not come out. That was me coping with it. isolated myself even more than what I already was. And then I'm getting yelled at and abused verbally for things I'm not even doing in a whole other continent by the person that I should have been able to talk to and go to. And that she should have been able to be my crutch. But she wasn't. It didn't work out that way. My life wasn't that way. It didn't happen that way. So it is what it is. But yeah. So Abuela was angry, and I was just like, I got froze because I remember stopping and just looking at her, and I remember not ever seeing her like that angry. And I was like, yep, I'm about to die today. I was like, I don't know what I did, Lord. Please forgive me for all my sins. But I realized I'm about to take my ass for something. She's like, dame el teléfono. Ahora. So like, I give her the phone. And then she was like, I'm tired of this. She was like, every time this girl is happy, or she's okay, or she's doing better, you call here and you destroy it. And you ruin it. You take it away from her. She was like, every time you call, it always ends up with her in tears. She was like, I'm tired of this and this shit is going to end. If you're not going to call, like if you're going to call and make her cry, then don't bother calling at all. Like, do not call this house again if you're going to call to make her cry. Because this shit needs to stop. Every fucking time you call, this is how it fucking ends. You're always putting her down. Stop treating her like shit. Don't remember the rest. I just know that she hung up the phone. And then she was like, let's go to bed. And we never spoke about it. Because I've never seen her say certain words. Certain words were said. I've never seen her out of, her poised character. And for the first time in my life, somebody had actually stuck up for me. Somebody actually made me feel like I was worth it besides my grandfather. And I always thought that at that point, up until that point, I thought my abuela didn't like me because, the woman had me out of wedlock. And then at that point, I had already known that the woman was the mistress, to my father, to my sperm donor. So I thought, what I'm saying, that's why she didn't like me because she wasn't married when she had me and XYZ, XYZ. And at that moment, I realized she had a different type of love for me. I just really hadn't seen it because Abuelo's love was just so big and so huge. And his love was just like, it was just everything. It was just safe. It was just everything. And I never really noticed it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And at that moment, I realized, like, she doesn't hate me. She never did. She does love me. In her own way, she just shows it differently. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But I had to come on here and let all of this go because it triggered me. I'm trying to better myself and grow and let go of all of my past and heal. And emotional wounds, they can heal, but once salt is thrown on them, they can reopen. Mm. They can reopen, and I'm not trying to leave myself open to anything. Like I'm not. I want to be able to see something down the line, or hear something down the line, or read something down, whatever, and not have a trigger, or if I have a trigger, not be an emotional one, like just get angry for a second and then move on, you know. But I know crying is good for the soul, and sometimes we all need that to release stuff and let things go. We just need to be mindful of how we judge people. We don't all know the stories of how people deal with things or what they deal with. We're not a fly in everybody's wall, and we're definitely not God. No matter how close you are to someone, you're not going to know their true intentions, and you're not going to know them 100%, especially if they're very good at only showing you what they want you to see. So, like, for me to be attacked by this person when I've never done anything to this person directly, like, I mind my business, stay in my lane, don't speak because I care not to speak. That's my choice. If that's my freedom. If I don't want to speak, I don't have to. That's just who I am. Doesn't make me a bad person. I just don't have the tolerance to keep pretending anymore. Like, it takes a lot of energy. And back then, yes, it was taking so much energy. I had to preserve what I had to just work. It was sucking me dry just to even go to work and have to keep that face on. And then I waste it on other things. No, I don't have time for that. I really don't, especially when the other things were harming so much. They weren't helping. Like, you may not understand me, and that's okay, but I've never disrespected you. There was no need for you to disrespect me or for you to continue to disrespect me. Just stay in your lane and worry about your life. I'm doing just fine, minding my business. Ain't nothing fake about me or what I went through because you damn sure as hell weren't there. You can't tell me my mental illness is fake. Like, you really posted the comment under a discussion about parenting with mental illness. A group of women are going to get together about balancing life and how it affects your mental status and parenting. Like, are you kidding me? I have mental illness and I'm a parent. What the fuck is fake about that? Like, you're just starting trouble. And because of people like you, is why people like me tend to just stay quiet and in our bubbles and feel like the world is against us and feel like nobody cares and nobody listens to us? And what's the point? And that's really how I feel right now. And I was already feeling like that before I saw the comment, and the comment just co-signed it. But I'm gonna keep on fighting and I'm gonna keep on pushing. I'm not gonna let you or anybody else or anything else like deteriorate me from living life. I'm going to live. We're gonna live life. It is what it is. Just let us live it. This is our story, not yours. So stop trying to put yourself in the middle of it. You play no part in my life. None. You were not relevant in no shape, way, or form. I never made you relevant in my life. So please stop trying to make yourself relevant now. Live your life. Just let us be. You surely have other things to do. Like, this just makes no sense. Bully a person who's already going through enough. Call them fake for why, how, what is fake? And who are you to justify that that is fake? You still cannot say that nothing that I dealt with in my life is not true. You did not live with us. You were not there. The situations that have caused me mental harm and damage, you were not there for. The day she fought me and scratched me up on my chest, and I could have hit her, but I didn't. I'm stopping her hits from fucking me up because she's my mother and I'm supposed to respect her as my mom, but I have all rights to defend myself, but I don't. You weren't there. My son was sleeping on a couch. He could have woke up to see his grandmother beating on his mom for what? And I stood there like a little child and I took it. And at the time I was 27 and I took it like a little kid out of respect for a person who didn't respect me. But I'm the villain though. Them scars literally just started clearing up. I can go back and pull up the pictures. I have a person that was standing there making sure my son didn't get up. I can tell you, she came out of nowhere and attacked me. He was a fly in the wall that day. I didn't punch her, I didn't hit her, I stopped her hits. But let her tell it like she told her doctor. My daughter tried killing me. She hit me in my chemo port. No, because I knew you had that there. If I really wanted to, I could have. But out of respect that you were my mother and I was raised by my grandparents with better values than that, I protected myself. But I never hit you. I was stopping your heads from hitting me. I never hit you. I stood there and took it like a little kid. I respected you, and I have another person that can vouch for that. But you know my story though, because you're God. It's fake. And I really do hope you're watching this video. And everything that's done in the dark comes to the light. And one day, I hope you see that light before you croak. And by then, I hope it's too late for you to feel guilty for talking about my child the way you did. Because you had no right. You had no right to talk about her the way you did. None, none at all. But that's what people are nowadays doing, y'all. We're just, mentally bullying people. We're just not protecting people's mental space anymore. We're just not caring that the world is already mentally coming at people, and we're just gonna keep on pushing and keep on pushing because that's just the way society is nowadays. They personally just don't care. But hey, how's it going? Oh, Cole's in the way now. Cole, move. Cause I had a whole trigger this morning. I'm recording. I had a whole trigger. So let me tell you this. So my mom, my egg donor, has this lady that's like her best friend, right? I have this uh this activity on Mother's Day. We were supposed to do like a group chat, these four women and I, and we're supposed to just talk about balancing life and mental health and parenting and things like that. So I was promoting it on my page, which she happened to now follow because she found me. Your mother? No, her best friend, who had already told me that my child was retarded and I have a rotten womb and all these other extra things because, according to her, this woman is not capable of doing anything that I've ever said she's done, and I'm a rotten child. Yeah, and I'm a rotten child. So under that promotion, she writes, "One of us is fake." I lost 5 followers. I did, but what are you gaining out of this? First of all, what are you calling fake? That's why I had to come to the YouTube video because I really got to I just got so damn angry. Like, what are you calling fake? You may be her best friend, but again, there's only two people in that house 24/7. Correct. A person is only going to show you what they want you to see. And I'm sorry, she's one of those. So you're only going to know what she's going to let you see. So are you God? Because the last that I checked, only God is going to be the only one that's going to really be able to say what is fake and what is not fake. And just because I don't vocalize what I've done doesn't mean that I haven't done anything. I just feel that it's nobody's business. Like if I paid her bills, I keep that to myself because that's my business. Vocalize to the world for what? I was telling people for what? You don't do things to tell people. You do them to do them. You get what I'm saying? So like, okay, you're coming at me for what? first of all, you and I never really had connections like that, so I never really talked to you like that. So for you to even text me and come at me the way that you came at me, because correct, I had a rotten room. I ain't good. Yo, I don't even remember. All I remember the rotten room. I have retarded children, and so on and so on.
She seems very retarded.
Correct.
How did she know your kids?
Because she's taken her on a cruise before with my mom.
Oh wow.
So I remember.
Josh has done this little kid dirty shit around for him.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Evidently, little kid's been working with him, right? The black kid, he's got a girlfriend. Living around the front. Evidently, he's been working for him. He came back here this morning or something to say something to Josh, or yesterday morning. He came back here and then he left him. He's cussing all the way back up the front. So now he came around here. Then he went and talked to Josh and went selling the steps over here crying. Probably fucked him out of money. That's dirty. Yep. Are you still recording? Oh wow. Alright, well go ahead.
No, it's cool. But yeah, but YouTube though. That's why I had to say my piece loud. And that made me feel better. She made me feel a lot better.
Is Maggie better?
Nope, she's knocked out. Okay, I'm gonna end it with y'all. This is 57 minutes. Y'all not gonna watch this whole shit anyway, so I like y'all, don't like y'all, love y'all, don't love y'all. Can't tell nobody what's fake though, cause y'all don't know nobody's real story. Don't forget that. Everybody puts on a damn mask. I don't give a damn who the fuck you are.